Hello and welcome to my Yu-Gi-Oh channel. Today we're looking at a brand new archetype. I believe these are coming out in the same pack as the Dratrons, and this is a brand new archetype. This is my first reaction to it. If you like the video, make sure to put that down below, leave comments, and don't forget to subscribe. So the first card is Live Twin Kisikil. It's a level 2 light Cyberse effect monster with 500 attack and 0 defense. You can only use the first effect of this card's name once per turn. If this card is normal or special summoned and you control no other monsters, you can special summon one Lila monster from your hand or deck. 2. Each time an opponent's monster declares an attack, you gain 500 life points. So I don't know what the purpose of doing this is as of the moment, because this is just a first reaction to the card. The stat line on this is quite awful. But then again, Cyberse monsters are from the Link era, so these cards are probably used just for like Link summoning into much stronger monsters. Being able to actually special summon into a different Lila monster means that you can go into a Link 2 monster more easily. And of course, there is the whole aspect of maybe life point gaining could give potential more advantage, but we'll have to wait and see. The next card is Live Twin Lila. It's a level 2 dark Cyberse effect monster. It's the same stat line, attack 500, defense 0. You can only use the first effect of this card's name once per turn. If this card is normal or special summoned and you control no other monsters, you can special summon one Kisikil monster from your hand or deck. So basically one summons the other. That's the whole way these two are meant to work. And your opponent must pay 500 life points to declare an attack. It's a little bit like, there's a card out there. It's a bit like Chain Energy, in that when you want to do things, you have to pay life points of 500 each time you want to do that. So actually the whole point might be to reduce your opponent's life points to a point where they have to make decisions that they can't do things, or limits their turn until they can actually recover their life points. The next card is Evil Twin Kisikil. So this is a Link 2 Light Fiend Link effect monster with 1100 attack, and its link points are the bottom and the right. It requires 2 monsters, including a Kisikil monster. You can only use each effect of this card's name once per turn. 1. If this card is special summoned and you control a Lila monster, you can draw 1 card. 2. During the main phase, if you control no Lila monsters as a quick effect, you can special summon 1 Lila monster from your graveyard, but you cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck for the rest of this turn, except Fiend monsters. So the first part of the effect actually just helps to draw into some of your other key cards. It's not much of a strategy. You can get much better draw effects outside of the archetype base, if that's what you're looking for. The second part of the effect means you're actually able to go into summoning another monster. So if you've had to link those cards away, you should have a Lila monster potentially in your graveyard, which means you can go into a Link 3, and so you can link climb. I think that's the whole idea of it. And I would imagine that restriction to do with Fiend monsters wouldn't be a big problem. I suppose they do have more support down the line with that type of thing. The next card is Evil Twin Lila. This is a Link 2 Dark Fiend Link effect monster with 1100 attack, and the link points are the left and the bottom. It requires 2 monsters, including a Lila monster. You can only use each effect of this card's name once per turn. 1. If this card is special summoned and you control a Kisikil monster, you can target 1 card on the field and destroy it. 2. During the main phase, if you control no Kisikil monsters, as a quick effect, you can special summon 1 Kisikil monster from your graveyard, but you cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck for the rest of this turn, except Fiend monsters. Again, I don't really see too much of the purpose of the first effect. The destruction effect is very limited. There are so many monsters and so many cards that can do this much better. And of course, targeted destruction is never as good as non-targeting removal, because monsters that get destroyed, or cards that get destroyed, sometimes have trigger effects, so you can actually just be supporting their strategy that much more. The second effect is the same as the other effect, just instead of a Lila monster, it's going for a Kisikil monster. Again, you would have linked those away to maybe summon this, and that means you can go into your rank 3 a lot easier. The next card is Evil Twins Kisikil and Kisikil-Lilla. It's a level 8 Dark Fiend effect monster with 2200 attack and 2200 defense. It cannot be normal summoned or set. It must be special summoned from your hand or graveyard by attributing 2 link monsters. You can only use the first effect of this card's name once per turn. 1. If this card is special summoned, you can make your opponent send cards they control to the graveyard until they control 2. 2. It gains 2200 attack and defense while there is a Kisikil monster and a Lila monster in your graveyard. So this is where these cards actually become very useful. It turns out not to be the link monsters that are the boss monsters, but rather this card. The summoning condition of it isn't too bad. The whole point of you having summoned either of the Evil Twin link monsters is that you can actually bring out another monster, and hopefully you're able to special summon something else or just go into something else and then link that away. If you do that, you're able to actually bring this out relatively easily. This is a very interesting effect for the first one, to be able to actually make your opponent only have 2 cards on their field. If they've got a very clamoured, strong board online, you're going to make your opponent make a very difficult decision. It reminds me a little bit of something, I don't know, some newer players won't have heard of this card. It's something, it's called Pineapple Blast. It basically does kind of the same thing, but it equalises yours and your opponent's board by, but you have to have summoned first in order to use that effect. It's similar to this, but this is better. That destroys the cards. This sends them, which means they're not likely to be able to trigger anything. And you're putting your opponent, who might have put all their resources into making a massive board, end up kind of losing those cards. The other thing about the second effect is actually really good. I did find that the attack and defense are very strange for a level 8, considering that, 2200 is not high. You've got level 4 monsters that are higher than that. Goblin Elite Attack Force is just an example. Indomitable Fighter Lila is another. Giant Orc has the same attack. But you're likely to have both the Kisikil and the Lila monster in your graveyard, whether that be the effect monsters or that be the link monsters. You'll have the requirements. So this card comes 4,400 beat stick. That's the whole idea of it. I think this is brilliant for what it can do. Only trouble I have is if your opponent is playing a banished dot deck, they can just banish those cards. That makes this card a 2,200 beat stick, and it can then be kind of run over quite easily. Next card is Live Twin Entrance. It's a quick play spell card. You can only activate 1 card with this card's name per turn. Discard 1 card, special summon 1 Kisikil or Lila monster from your deck, but you cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck for the rest of this turn after this card resolves, except Evil Twin monsters. So again, this is just a way of special summoning something relatively easily from your deck and being able to go into those combos much faster. It's not a it's a necessary card for the deck in order to get those special summons off. The next card is the go to field spell card called Live Twin Channel. You can only use each effect of this card's name once per turn. 1. When a monster declares an attack, you contribute 1 Kisikil or Lila monster to negate that attack. And 2. During each end phase, you can target 1 Kisikil or Lila monster in your graveyard, shuffle it into the deck, or if you control no monsters, you can add it to your hand instead. So the first effect is really good. The monsters are incredibly weak for what they are, and you are very much reliant on those kind of the boss monster to do anything. So being able to just tribute away one of your weak monsters to shut down those attacks can help support your strategy. The second effect is also really good for what it needs. You're able to either shuffle the cards back into the deck, so you can draw into them a bit later, so you don't need to run any more kind of recovery cards. Or if you are in a position where you don't have any monsters on your field, being able to add it to your hand means that you can play those cards again if and when you need to. The next card is Evil Twin Challenge. This is a normal trap card. You can only activate one card with this card's name per turn, and you need to target one Kisikil or Lila monster in your graveyard, special summon it, then immediately after this effect resolves, you can link summon one Evil Twin Link monster using monsters you control. So you don't actually have to wait for kind of a response, you can instantly kind of do that. Even if it does mean that your monster goes to the graveyard, you're able to kind of access and play through some of those strategies a little bit faster. The next card is Evil Twin Easy Game. It's a continuous trap card. You can only use the first effect of this card's name once per turn. You contribute one Kisikil or Lila monster to activate one of these effects. Target one Kisikil or Lila monster you control. It gains attack equal to the tributed monster's original attack until the end of this turn. And the second part is when a card or effect is activated that would destroy a card on the field, you can negate that effect. So again, this card is very useful for what the deck needs. Being able to tribute those monsters. Remember that the link monsters themselves are treated as the same name. So those have 1100 attack, so they can boost your monsters up. Or the weaker monsters are 500, so even 500 attack is a little bit of support. The second part of the effect is actually much better, because being able to kind of protect your key cards, maybe your boss monster, is a good way of keeping the pressure on your opponent. And then we've got the final card, which is Evil Twin Present. This is a normal trap card. You can only activate one card with this card's name per turn. If you control a Kisikil monster and a Lila monster, you can activate one of these effects. Target one Kisikil or Lila monster you control, and one face-up monster your opponent controls. Switch control of those two monsters. And the second is target one set spell or trap card your opponent controls, and shuffle it into the deck. So I think this card is really good. Considering that your Kisikil or Lilas tend to be 500 attack or 1100 attack, you can essentially just creature swap your monster for one of their beat sticks, so you can just run them over with their own monsters if you want, provided there isn't any negation to this. And the other thing is you also have the option, if you're concerned about spell and traps, to be able to actually just send it back. Consider it a little bit like wiretap. I would say the only disadvantage is it doesn't negate its activation. So if your opponent is able to kind of respond, or it helps to just trigger, they'll just do that anyway, rather than risk it going back into the deck and potentially not even drawing it or using its effect throughout the rest of the duel. So what do you think of this archetype? I think it's easy enough to understand. It's not a complicated deck. I think for beginners, it's just perfect for what you need. But I would say the biggest concern is it's a little bit too simplistic. It's easy enough to counter. You know what they're going to do. You know how they're going to run things. And you can run easy negations to stop those strategies. My whole issue is just I don't think there's enough support. Again, this is an initial set. So if they get more support, I'm more than happy to take those comments back. Until I see any more progress, I'm still going to reserve some judgment. Whatever you think, leave your comments down below. Like the video if you enjoyed it, and don't forget to subscribe.